Hello, my name is Connor Watson, and today I will be doing a movement analysis of the forehand swing in tennis. Now, there are multiple different types of swing in tennis, such as the serve and the backhand, but today I will be focusing on the forehand swing. The first joint that I will be analyzing today is the right wrist. So, as you can see in the prep phase, the wrist is horizontally abducting as it is bending, is moving away from the body. Now, during the preparation phase, it is winding up, and the active muscle for this is the palmaris longus, and the palmaris longus in this situation is contracting eccentrically. Now, looking at the wrist for the acceleration phase, as you can see right there, it starts to horizontally adduct. Now, during the acceleration phase, the palmaris longus is still the acting muscle, but however, now it is contracting concentrically. Now, looking at the wrist once again for the follow-through phase, you see it is starting to slow down, and it was horizontally adducting still. However, now during the follow-through phase, the acting muscles switch, and the eccentric digitorum that was the antagonist now becomes the active muscle instead of the palmaris longus, and the eccentric digitorum is now contracting eccentrically. Now we'll look at the second joint, which is the right shoulder. Now here, the right shoulder is, as you can see, is moving away from the body horizontally, so it's horizontally abducting. Now, during the preparation phase, as the shoulder is winding up to get ready to excel, the latissimus dorsi is the active muscle, and it is contracting eccentrically. Now, looking for the acceleration phase, there, the shoulder is now starting to move across the body and horizontally adduct. During the acceleration phase, the latissimus dorsi is the active muscle and contracts concentrically. Now, looking at the follow-through phase, you can see the shoulder continues to horizontally adduct, and now in the follow-through phase, the acting muscles change, and the pectoralis major is now the active muscle, and is contracting eccentrically. Now, looking at the final joint I will be analyzing, we are going to be looking at the left hip. So here's the left hip in the preparation phase. As you can see, internally rotates. Internally rotates. During this phase, the biceps femoris is the active muscle for the hip's internal rotation, and it contracts eccentrically. Now, looking at the hip, the left hip for the acceleration phase, you can see where it begins to accelerate. Internal, bam, starts to accelerate and speed up for external rotation. Now, during the acceleration phase, the biceps femoris is again the active muscle and contracts concentrically. Now, we're looking at the follow-through phase for the hip. You can see it begins to slow down, but it is still externally rotating. In the follow-through phase, the acting muscles again change, and the semitendinosus as the antagonist is now the active muscle, and it contracts eccentrically. Now, talking a little bit about the biomechanics info of tennis forehand swing, I think that by using the larger muscles in these movements, that helps to reduce the risk of injury rather than doing certain movements that can use smaller muscles because they may not be as strong, and so they are more likely to be injured. Another way to avoid injury doing the tennis forehand swing is to not rotate the hips too far, as too much internal or external rotation can cause injury. And I know this because I have actually hurt my hip by rotating it too far externally, and I had to go to physical therapy. So I know how important it is to make sure you're not overly rotating your body. So that concludes my movement analysis, and I hope you learned something. Thank you.